All right, we're good.
There we go. We really do need some intro music, James.
Yeah.
Da 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 da
Oh,
da. Well, now that the notification's going out, welcome, folks, to Windy City Ghostbusters. Da, 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 da. Windy City Ghostbusters presents Why We Bust. We'll be here weekly live streaming this interview. We're bringing it to you every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time. It's basically our chance to interview folks from different Ghostbuster franchises and get to hear their stories, learn funny facts, sometimes tell bad puns, see cats. The list goes on. I am your host, Kristen, your friendly neighborhood Class 5 roaming vapor. Our producer, there it is, in the box up there, is James.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So yeah, James, for next week, we should even if it's just we should the intro music should be your cat meowing. Just a bunch of meows in a row. What do you think?
I mean,
Would that
you
work?
could program it into a keyboard a la Ferris Bueller.
yeah, I could do that too. I mean, I could
You know?
just grab her next time she's here and just shake her. Just
meow. And I'll get my cat on, and then they can have a conversation as well.
Probably
but,
more interesting than what we're doing.
That's fair. It'd be a lot cuter. James, would you mind telling the viewers on Twitch what they can do with their little Moogly money?
Well, so if you're watching us on Twitch, you will generate Moogly money, which is points that you can use to interact with us while we're streaming. So there's a bunch of different things that you can purchase with your money, which you'll generate by watching, and it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And as you're watching, you'll see a little, like, if you watch for a certain amount of time, you'll see a little box pop up. You can pop the box and you can get even more points. So yeah, use that money. We've all got our drinks of choice to hydrate. We can all use a stretch every once in a while, you know. And we also love seeing James's cat Annabelle, which is the summon the destroyer button. So please feel free to use those points. Make it interesting for us tonight. Tonight's guests on Why We Bust are basically a dynamic duo within the Windy City Ghostbusters. We've got Gregg and Nick. Hi guys.
What's going on?
Hello, hello.
Are you guys ready for this?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Well, I'm very happy that we got you guys together because I know, Nick, you are heading back to school in a few weeks. So yeah, grateful that we could catch you before you went.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how I like to start these interviews. Oh, by the way, hello, Rudy. And MJ, hey. Catching up with chat real quick there. Excellent. So what I like to start these is basically going back in time, back in history. So for one of you, that's further back than the other. But
What are you implying, Kristen?
nothing at all.
He's just a baby.
He's just a baby. So start with you, Gregg. What was your first experience, exposure, memory of Ghostbusters?
My first exposure, and probably not many people can say this on our team, was I actually saw the original in the theater in 6th grade with my best friend. And we came out of the theater and we thought we were going to be Ghostbusters when we grew up. We wrote up a contract and everything. The funniest thing, I wish I could have found it. It may still be floating around my parents' house. I don't know. But we made an agreement that when we graduated high school and college, we were going to become real Ghostbusters. And we signed it.
Incredible.
We signed it, made it official, and I had it for the longest time. Like I said, it may be floating around my parents' house. Who knows? But yep, that was my first exposure to Ghostbusters.
That's amazing. So was because I know once the first movie came out, it just kind of started sending like the excitement around Ghostbusters only went up. So I assume, did you follow through with like the different like television shows and obviously the second movie and
Oh,
anything that came out? Or is it just that was now this is your thing now?
And it, the funny thing is, and as we're talking here, I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I saw GB2 in the theater, but I don't remember for the life of me who I would have seen it with.
Fair.
But then, Real Ghostbusters came out. I think, God, I know I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dating myself. Yeah, it's a lot of gray in the beard. I know, but it came out in high school, and I was like, wow, they're doing a cartoon on it. So, followed the exploits of the team Saturday mornings, ABC.
Yeah.
And just my love for Ghostbusters just kept going.
That's awesome. Like from the get-go. What what do you think it was that like pulled you guys to go see it? Was it just like, hey, a cool adventure movie, or were you like into ghosts?
You know what? I've always been into paranormal ever since I was a wee lad. So, seeing these guys fighting ghosts in the movies, it was like, oh, hey, here's a no-brainer. I got to see this. So that's what kind of drew me in.
That's awesome. So like we had, the TV shows, the movies, all of that. You're into all of that pre-2000s era when we get like, video game and on. What was your favorite piece of content during that time? Like if you had to pick either like the series, like, or one of the series or a movie, which piece of content that was available was your favorite at the time?
You know what? Probably RGB, just because it was on every week. You didn't have to wait from 84 to 89 to get a new episode. Like I said, flip on the TV Saturday morning and there they are, fighting the Boogeyman and Sam Hain and Sandman and any other whack job ghost that was out there. I don't even know how many, what was it? 9 seasons, 10 seasons, something like that, whatever it was.
I want to say 9, but it could be 10. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah. There's a ton of content, a ton of lore added. Yeah.
Right.
So moving through time, you're a fan. Now you have Nick in the picture. So Nick, what is your first memory of Ghostbusters? Because I know I've seen the pictures. This is like little Nick he is dressed up as a Ghostbuster with his dad. So what is your first memory of Ghostbusters?
I think the first memory, I mean, honestly, with him watching all the movies and the TV shows, he kind of like molded me in a way where I appreciated Ghostbusters when I was little. He would always have it on when I was like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years old. Like just whenever he would be playing it, and I would just, there was nothing else to do, so I just kind of like sat in front of the TV and watched it then. So I think my love for Ghostbusters was just him playing the movies and the TV shows over and over again so I could get educated with the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And so he can quote the movie along with me.
Yeah.
There you go.
At first I thought it was annoying. I'm like, oh my God, Dad, you're such a nerd. But now me and him are doing it like, random Saturday night, we're just spewing it out.
Yeah, there was an app. Do you remember the app?
Yeah.
It was a soundboard app that played clips, like different lines from the movie. And I'd be walking up to school. You're probably, in 3rd grade or something. And it was Lewis's, okay, I'm going to take a shower now. And I'd play that every freaking day. And he'd be like, Dad, stop it. And he'd like run away from me as soon as we crossed the street.
Aww. Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, and there's that certain age when you're just like, my parents are the most embarrassing people in the world. And it's like you enter that at some point, but then you do exit it typically at some point. So when did you start including him with like the cosplay type like side of it, like dressing up in the suit, putting on a pack.
Well, what were you?
Oh, and actually, even before that, Greg, when did you start suiting up?
You know what? Honestly, probably the only time I did a Ghostbusters cosplay was like seventh or eighth grade, and I never thought about it again until I joined Windy City.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just like more of a fan in between,
because we actually did. What were you, like 4 or 5?
About.
I mean, we rocked the black flight suits before black flight suits were cool. All right. So we did that. I don't know, 4 or 5 years old with him. I made these homemade proton packs that were pretty impressive for what they were. I mean, it was just like a cat litter box and plates and stuff I found around the house. Well, they held up, and then we went to boo at the zoo at Brookfield Zoo and put them on in the parking lot, and they both fell apart.
Oh no! Was it for like an event or something?
It boo at the zoo. It's the yearly Halloween thing there. So so they, like I said, they made it to the zoo parking lot. We put them on, and they just disintegrated.
Oh no!
Yeah.
That's hard. With like the homemade ones could be so much fun, but then it's hard because like stability is an issue.
Right. Didn't really consider, using paper towel tubes and Kleenex boxes wasn't going to get me far.
Yeah, fair. Well, and then so now with all of the Ghostbuster content, Nick, what is your favorite piece of content?
This is a difficult question.
Well, and so in this particular question, the rest does not disappear. Sometimes I do like to put the stakes real high, like everything else disappears, and this is the only piece you ever get ever again.
Okay.
But that's not this one.
I don't know. I'll phone you in.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna phone
you have in the whole scape of Ghostbusters content.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I enjoy RGB. Like I said earlier. I mean, that's my favorite. I don't know why. I mean, even outside of the movies, even Frozen Empire, Afterlife. I'm an animated fan, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I will say.
Does that help you?
Yeah, okay. I will say. Even though it does have some backlash and all that, I think Answer the Call has a really unique style. It's very like punk. I don't know, like punk DIY type of stuff, and I like stuff like that. So.
Well, and I remember taking him and his sister to see Answer the Call when it first came out. And, I was like, all right, it's a different take on it. I'll bite. This is for a new generation. Yeah. They weren't trying to say we are the Ghostbusters. They were a new team. So I was like, all right, hopefully they'll, continue with this. But of course, we all know where that went.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're exactly right. Like, it was a new take. It's technically not within the same universe.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be different.
Right.
And highlighting like everyone can be a Ghostbuster.
Right.
So I think that's great. Yeah, it was definitely a fresh take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Want to catch up in chat. Frack, thank you for the bits, and also Theater Girl, thank you for following the channel. I appreciate that. So with over time, basically training Nick into the Ghostbuster ways. We're moving between. So let me collect my thoughts here. When you're moving through it all, then Greg, how did you learn about Windy City, and like kind of around when did you learn about that franchise specifically?
Well, at least 5 years ago. Okay. And I've been in sales pretty much ever since I've been out of college. And one day I was just sitting at my desk and I was like, I need to do something to like help people. Just selling day is like bleh.
Mm,
So,
fair.
I was like, what can I do to help people? And then I was thinking, and I remember the Chicago division was at my local comic shop one year for comic book day or something. And I was like, I wonder what those guys do. Because they, so I Googled Chicago Ghostbusters and I think the Chicago division came up. I clicked the page and it redirected me to Windy City or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
At,
exact
at
step,
some
but,
point. Yeah,
yeah,
at some
somehow I
point when
got-
that kind of melded, the
Right.
link takes you there. Yeah.
right. And, I got in touch with Joe Gagliano.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're listening, Joe. And, went from there.
Yeah. So what was your experience like? Because what year was that when you joined?
2020.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we actually did. Nick wasn't a member.
Fair.
Because he was still young.
Fair.
And our first event was which library? Mount Prospect? No, it wasn't Mount Prospect. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking Barrington. But yeah, Mount Prospect Library was our first event. And I didn't have a flight suit. I didn't have anything. So I went on Amazon. I bought the blue lab coats.
Yeah.
And we went, commercial GB.
Yeah.
We had like a video camera. I made like the Egon's little stethoscope thing. And, that was kind of our thrown together cosplay. And we did that. Then we went to C2E2 like a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
And then the Corona hit.
Yeah. Because I know there was definitely a transition for a lot of franchises during that time, especially like ones who were doing like fundraising and stuff and like actively going to events. But that's really awesome that you did at least get to like have 2 events in and like get to meet people before all of it. So were you joined in after that second?
Yeah. I mean, and then it was because we were still getting, James, maybe you can even back me up on this. We were still getting birthday requests for people wanting us to.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And, with nothing to do, Nick had this film bug and we're like, hey, we can go out and do videos and be like, hey, James, we heard it's your birthday. Come on out with us. We're going to go on some. We jump in the car and
Nick they made some really fun videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We go out to
I
the woods.
heard about these. Yeah.
Special effects and things. And so, yeah, I mean, we were still involved, even though we couldn't be involved,
Yeah. And so, Nick, during that time, were you doing a lot of the filming and editing for those kinds of things to kind of keep those requests fulfilled?
Yeah. You approached me like one day where you were just like, hey, there's a kid that wants a video for his birthday.
Oh yeah. That was the kid that was like in England or something.
Yeah.
And like,
oh my God.
Yeah, kid like puts up, some parent reached out to all the groups and posted something on Facebook, and he wanted a birthday video. So Nick and I were like, all right, let's throw something together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It was pretty fun because I haven't done film for a hot minute or like made like little silly videos. But yeah, I have vivid memories of just not being bored and doing that. And I was like, Dad, look at, I put, Slimer in the video or something like that. It was really fun.
That's really cool. And then Nick, now in school, what are you doing?
I'm talking to anyone that I can about my group.
Your major.
Oh, well, yeah, I switched my major. I should do that. I should say that. I originally was in film, but I switched to theater education because I've started to work at a daycare, and it made me realize that I like teaching kids.
Oh, that's amazing.
I'm going to put my favorite hobby, which is theater, and education, and combine the two.
And you've got Ghostbuster fans in your class.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So last year, how did it get brought up? Oh, I was scrolling through my phone one day. It was like early in the morning, and one of the kids was like, "Mr. Nick, what's that on your phone?" I'm like, "Oh, it's my proton pack." They're like, "Wait, from Ghostbusters?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I haven't told you this." So I started, explaining to him what I do, and he's like, "No way." So then he like told everyone, and now everyone's like, "What have any of you done today, Mr. Nick? What have you done with your pack, Mr. Nick?" It's the best thing. And one of the kids, he's a big wrestling fan. He last year I told him about Steve and how he is a wrestler.
Yeah.
He's like, "No way, you know wrestlers." So last year at Fan Expo, I actually had Steve record like a little video for him, and he was like awestruck. It was the best thing ever.
That's amazing. Like literally, like all of the worlds like came together at once. That's so cool. That's really sweet. What age range are you teaching?
Right now I'm teaching school agers and many other grade levels. I'm just kind of like a floater. So it's like I go in, I'm like, "Where do you guys need me?" They're like, "We need you at infants." I'm like, "Okay." So I go there, or the day after, they're like, "We need you at school age." I'm like, "Okay." So it's kind of just like 4-year-old to like 11-year-olds. So
Fair, okay.
they have concept of knowledge of movies.
Yeah.
I've been trying to educate them with Ghostbusters a little bit more.
Aww. So then when did you get sworn in with Windy City?
Oh geez, I think that was 2021.
Afterlife
21.
premiere.
It was the Afterlife premiere at Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's pretty awesome.
And
Yeah, the swear-ins at especially at like big events like that are always like so sentimental.
The coolest part was they didn't tell me that they were going to swear Nick in. So when they called me sworn, I was like, "What?" So yeah, it was kind of cool.
Because it was me and Dan Lombardo that got sworn in at the exact same time. So yeah, that was crazy because I don't know who said it or who brought me up. And they were just like, "Nick," and I was like, just trying to eat my food, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Typical Bollendorff eating.
Real quick in chat, Frack, thank you for all the bits and all the cheers. Yeah, those stories definitely deserved all the cheers on that. That's so sweet. So I usually, at this point, give you a chance to talk about or I ask, what charities is it that Windy City supports? James and I know, but Greg and Nick, if you want to let the folks watching know, what charity work does Windy City do?
Well, our main focus is La Rabida Children's Hospital on the south side of Chicago, right up there at Lake Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful campus.
Yeah.
I was part of the first team that was able to go in to see the kids, which was just amazing. And you were with me.
Yeah, I was there.
Hello. Because that was right before you went for your freshman year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it just to see the kids and to actually see what we're going out into the community and dressing like Ghostbusters and where our efforts are going was just like I said, it was incredible. And it was, there was a girl who, I think she was in high school, and we were standing outside talking to her, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go for a walk?" And I'm like, "Okay, I mean, I'm not going to tell this girl no." So I'm like, "Nick, come on." So the three of us went. Her mom was, kind of standing behind us, and the three of us, me, Nick, and this girl, I can't remember what her name is, but we had this great conversation, and it was just, the coolest thing, and it was, and again, just to see the kids, it was just amazing. It really was. And I always, when I tell the story, I always say, I don't know who is more excited to see us, the kids, the parents, or the staff. So you couldn't turn a corner without like somebody being like, "Oh my gosh, the Ghostbusters are here." I mean, one lady was in the waiting room with her daughter, and she's like, "Are you going?" We're like, "No, we're not going anywhere." She's like, "Hey," she like FaceTimed someone. She's like, "You're never gonna guess the Ghostbusters are here." We're like, "Hey," and whoever was on the other line was like, "Are you kidding me? The Ghost?" So yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's funny because like even outside of like you have years between movies and stuff, and it's still like people know exactly who you are when you're walking around. People want to like interact and talk because it's just the coolest thing. I remember I walked down my street to hit the like train or bus to go to an event downtown last year, and a group of firefighters at a nearby place were like, "Hey," like across the, "Hey, can we get a picture with you?" Like it's instantly recognizable, and people just love it. It's such a fun, goofy, like movies and the content, like all of it is. Oh, that's so wholesome.
right. And it's funny because, like you're saying, I mean, people recognize you, but you know, then you got the people. Those are the parents that are raising their kids right. You know, that were like us. You know, but then you know, you got people like I think it was like a year or two ago. Nick and I were in Lowe's and we're looking for something for our packs, and like you know, we brought what did we bring in? One of the wands.
One of the wands, yeah.
One of the wands, and this little kid's like looking at it. And I'm like, you know what this is? He's like, no. And I look at his dad, and I'm like, you know what this is, right? And he's like, no, I don't know, really. I'm like, dude, you're like 30-something, and you don't know what a proton pack and a neutrino glider, and you know, I'm like, come on, you know, you weren't right.
And that's when you hit him with the, well, we're the Windy City Ghostbusters card.
I kind of did that, and he just kind of gave me the hairy eyeball and was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
But now he has a story when someone brings up Ghostbusters and he goes, you know, I saw these weirdos at the hardware store. It always comes back around.
When I'm like, yeah, I'm a Ghostbuster, and people are like, oh yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm really a Ghostbuster. And then I take the card out, and then I give the whole, 501c3, and they're like, oh wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's I haven't had the chance yet myself to go to La Rabida, but watching the videos when y'all go and seeing the pictures when everyone goes, it's really incredible. Yeah. And now, Greg, you're on our events committee. Nick, are you planning on joining up in any committees in the future? Once you have time outside of school?
Probably when I graduate. I've been thinking of some positions when I graduate. But I want to focus on the actual career first before, hopping in one of those things.
That is important.
But
also in the same vein, though, with the public, do either of you have a... Oh, real quick, we got to hydrate.
Hydrate.
Cheers, y'all. James, what does your mug say?
Cat dad.
I thought real quick when you like drink it, put it down, I thought it said can't today. Also would have been good.
Yes.
Can't today. Nope. But with talking about interacting with the public, do either of you have like a favorite story or a funny story of interactions with public?
I not a funny story, but I just think it's funny how like after an event and like I've run into the grocery store like in full gear, and just the soft goods. I'm not going to get my pack, but walking in with my gear and people don't even like think twice or look at you differently. They're just like, oh yeah, there's a Ghostbuster. You're standing in line with like one time I had a pack of hot dogs and buns, and people are just like, and I'm like, not even one person to be like, hey, you going to a costume party? It's in the middle of July. What's going on here? Yeah, I just think that's always funny how we never get like a second look.
Yeah, people like look at you and then go, "Oh, Ghostbuster," and then go about their business.
Like it's normal, like firefighters or police officers. We're keeping the streets safe from the paranormal.
Yeah, just keeping the streets safe. Just different type of safe.
Right.
So I want to get into something specific. So Nick, you're quite the builder.
Yeah.
So for anyone who is watching, Nick has created his very own proton pack, but it's not just any proton pack. Nick, can you explain to us what this proton pack is?
Yeah, so
we just had a summon the destructor. We're gonna shake the treats and see if Annabelle will join us for a second. Thanks, Crack.
I just heard her like knock over stuff. Come on. Come here.
So the destroyer was summoned correctly.
Oh, that's why she's called that. That's why I used it.
Oh, she is like fiending. Aw, we love a good cat on the screen. So yeah, Nick, your pack.
Yeah, so last year, I think it was around like end of November, early December, one of our members in our group, Rick, posted on our like group chat. It was like, it'd be really cool if we did like a steampunk Ghostbuster cosplay. And I don't know, like I've always loved steampunk, even like when I was little. I loved like that type of vibe, like just like I said, like DIY, gadgets and gizmos and stuff like that, Victorian-esque. All that stuff is just really fun. And when Rick said that, I don't know why, but like sometimes I can see things in my mind of like clear visions, and I'm just like, boom, okay, that's what I want to do. So I told Dad, I was like, it'd be really cool if we did a steampunk
Really cool.
Ghostbusters cosplay. And he's like, yeah, Rick just said that. I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, what if I like actually do it?
Yeah.
So
And then I was like, yeah, thanks, Rick. 'Cause then he was obsessed.
yeah, so I did a lot of research when I got back to school, and my roommate was like kind of like watching it. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, just sketching ideas. He's like, for classes? I'm like, no.
Classes? What's that?
I'm like, no, for my cosplay stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, that stuff. Because I already told him about Ghostbusters. He knows all about that. But yeah, so since like December or January, around that time, I started getting like all this stuff, like boxes and paint and hoses and gears and stuff like that. And I've been building a steampunk Ghostbusters pack, but it doesn't look exactly like the Proton pack that you see.
Mhm.
It's my own version of a Proton pack. What if someone in that era made a Proton pack? What would it look like? So mine is actually electric powered. I was debating between steam or electric,
Yeah.
and then when we went to that premiere of Wonderverse, me and Rudy were talking, and I said, I don't know, I'm stuck. I want to do steam and I want to do electric. What should I do? He's like, dude, do electric. It's like you can add so many lights in it, and I'm like, you're right. So I stuck with electric. So it's actually finished. I actually got my costume ready. So
Nice.
it's actually going to be ready to go for this year's Fan Expo, and I'm really excited to show it off.
Nice.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm excited to see that. Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen the like your pictures like, and updates and stuff with the pack, and it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, he actually neglected to say he's done a second pack.
I thought we were keeping that a surprise.
Well, I'm not posting pictures, am I?
Okay, fair enough.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
He's gotten the what do I want to say? The base, the skeleton
Yeah.
for my pack, and I'm doing my version. So
You heard it here first, folks.
I will be build at Fan Expo.
Are you also doing it at Fan Expo?
Yep.
And so is this like suit and pack for both of you guys?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are. I think we're going to call ourselves Spirit Smashers.
I'm good into it.
Yeah, something along those lines. I don't know.
That's so fun. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So now everyone, so each week we end up with giving everyone a little homework. This week's homework is buy a Fan Expo ticket and come see us.
Yes.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh, in chat, Shannon, thank you for subscribing for 3 months over on Twitch. We appreciate that. Thank you for being around. I'm gonna say I know Rudy was in here. He just said Nick said I was right. It's canon. Yeah, that's gonna be really incredible. How many hours do you think you put into your pack specifically, Nick?
Woo. Well, with you started it at Christmas, and then you
Yeah.
had like from Christmas.
Mhm.
I think like you did like one thing over spring break,
Yeah.
and then like he hit it when he came home for the summer.
Yeah.
But you knocked this one out with me, like in a day and a half.
Well, because I knew
total
what we
like
had
that.
to do. Mine
With all,
was
like,
like building it from the start up.
Well, and plus I had to buy the proper tools because he was working on it during Christmas break while I was at work.
Mm.
I didn't realize he was like cutting things with like an X-Acto knife. So when we started working on my pack, I'm like, let's go get us a handheld jigsaw. That's going to work a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
yeah. So cut some time on that, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He's like, wow, Dad, this is really quick. I'm like, you should have told me you needed this thing, Dad.
Well, there's that like that first big, like, especially pack build, and then there's every one after that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You learn a lot with that very first build.
Oh, yeah.
Before you go. So, do either of you have plans, or have you guys made props before outside of that? You did? What other props have you made?
I actually, I wanted to keep this a surprise too, but I also
You don't have to say it.
No, I'm gonna. I made a steampunk Ghostbusters trap for the costume as well, and it's on a little RC. So
yeah,
there's that. I've also made, like, since I'm when I was little, I did like a bunch of films with my friends. I would make like little props and stuff like that for our films.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. We've got like a prop corner in the garage. Every time I like clean it and straighten it out, I'm like, oh, here's Nick's props.
Yeah.
Put them over here.
There was one time.
That's why I had to get a third car garage.
Right.
Yeah. There was one time, it was in 2021, me and my friends made a Scream fan film that took place in the 1960s. And I had all these like fake mannequin heads because,
oh, jeez,
there's the certain deaths and stuff like that. So you got to have like a fake body. And the creepiest thing was I had like 4 mannequin heads, like all bludgeoned and bloody, like on my desk in my room. So I had to sleep with that at night with these 4 mannequin heads just staring at me. And I was like, ugh.
They all had like different deaths. Like one had like grill marks on it. One had like a golf club in its head. It's like,
oh my God.
Yep. Like I said, just another day at the Bollendorff house.
Yeah. Just mannequin heads slaughtered in a bag.
Yeah, fake blood, eyeballs, fake teeth. Nick, what are you doing over there? I'm making teeth for the scene where he loses his mouth, and I'm like, what? All right. Hey, does this tongue look real enough?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
My wife and I always joke. My wife and I always joke. I gotta say it though. Like when we dated in college and we got married, and it's like my nickname in college was Bully, and I'm always like, hey, 1990s Bully, your son's going to be sitting there making like fake eyeballs, and his sister's going to be hitting him with a lightsaber. And present day Bully would be like, nah, that's never going to happen. It's like just the weirdness.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. MJ in chat said, as if I wasn't already excited for Fan Expo, I can't wait to see the new stuff. Yeah, we got some big reveals on here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least news-wise. Yeah. That's exciting.
Yeah, like I said, though, I'm not showing mine off.
Fair.
Yeah.
Is there like a dream prop, like as far as Ghostbusters goes, that either of you would want to make or have?
Yeah, slime blower.
Ooh, yeah.
Actual slime.
Actual slime. Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
See, he's like the Q to my James Bond. He builds all the stuff, and I'm just like, Lucius Fox, Batman,
No, I love that. I mean, yeah, everyone's got to have a Q.
Yep, and he definitely is it.
Now, have either of you done any cosplays, or like any sort of dressing up as characters outside of Ghostbusters?
Yeah, we used to when he was little.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Halloween we dress up. We'd always figure out who we're gonna do, and I mean, we've done Woody and Al from Al's Toy Barn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nephew was Al from Al's Toy Barn. We did Grandpa Max and Ben from Ben 10. Yeah. That was our first one. That was our first cosplay at Wizard, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's really fun.
I think the best one though was we did Green Lantern and Green Arrow for another brew at the zoo.
Oh,
yeah. And I was Green Arrow, and I got like an actual green longbow, and I
Yeah.
made like a quiver with arrows in it and all this. And he was Green Lantern, and we're walking around Brookfield Zoo, and people were like, "Hey, it's Robin Hood," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Green Arrow." But the best part was we're walking around, and the zoo police pull up, and I'm like, they get out of the car, and they're like, "Sir," and they call me over, and I'm like, "What's up, officer?" They're like, "Somebody at the front gate reported somebody walking around with a bow and arrow, and I'm guessing that's you." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, but as you can see, these aren't real arrows, So I'm like, I almost ended up in zoo jail that day. We're like, it's probably like underneath the dolphin show or something. And,
Right.
yeah. What else?
Zoo
What else?
jail.
Poseidon and Zeus.
Oh yeah, Poseidon, Zeus, Dipper, Grunkle Stan.
Oh yeah, Dipper and Grunkle Stan. Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah.
That's when we actually got my wife involved in cosplaying. The one
Nice.
time.
Now, has your daughter ever joined on any of the group costumes?
Yeah, she was in Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah, Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, that's right. We did that for one of the fan expos or Wizards.
That
or
was
C3E2,
fun.
whatever it was.
Because I got to make like a Audrey 2 puppet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Who was
Yeah,
who for that one?
I was Seymour.
He was Seymour, Tabby was Audrey, and I was Mr. Mushnick.
That's amazing.
What else? God, I mean, we've done every year we go, we try and figure out, something we can all do.
I don't know if you would call this cosplay, but recently I've made some friends up in Milwaukee where every semester we put out a haunted house and I get to dress up as a different creepy character. Recently, the guy who's in charge, he's like, "You're going to be a scary clown because you're like great at scaring people." So this year I got to have like all these balloons and just like pop it in front of people's faces. So that was pretty fun.
That's a good one for in a haunted house.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's fun. Because the big noise, the big loud. Because usually in a haunted house, it's like you just bang on something. Like I've worked in a background a haunted house for you. The big one is you just bang on something in metal in the background. But popping a balloon,
and especially in a room that echoes, it's scary.
Yeah. So now earlier I said like we were talking about Ghostbuster content, and I said my bigger question is other stuff disappears, like no pressure. But now I do need to know it out of the movies specifically. What the one movie you would choose if all others had to disappear? Which one is the one you would watch forever? All the rest disappear for good. Like everyone's memory, everyone knows of them, but no one can watch them.
You know what? I'd have to go with 84.
Yeah.
I'd go with 84. Honestly, I mean, that's what introduced me to it. I mean, Afterlife and Frozen Empire, great movies. Don't get me wrong. GB2, Afterlife, or Answer the Call, different take. But GB original has it to my heart.
Yeah. Nick,
I
the
would
stakes
say
are so high.
I know you said the original, but I would say GB2 because I have the like more nostalgia with that because in my dad's old car he had a the cassette of the soundtrack.
He can't even think of what it's called. that plastic square.
Yeah, but
the thing with the string in it.
He would play it like over and over and over and over and over.
Because it's got a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it has a good soundtrack.
It is the best soundtrack.
Yes,
right?
Yes, hands down.
I feel like Ghostbusters 2 because just I don't know, more nostalgia for me. That's my original. Like I know the original's the original, but that's my original.
Fair. I know. I'll let you two, and well, of course, everyone else watching in on a secret. I may or may not. I may be making planning on I'm kind of planning a whole Slimer dance karaoke to Hot Night from the soundtrack.
Oh jeez.
I've been working on the vocals for a bit, in Slimer Talk, so it'll be I don't know when I'll use it, but I want to just have that in my back pocket. So Expect it when you least expect it. But no, I think GB1, GB2, I think are the most common answers too, because I mean it's where it all stems from. That's where like all of this comes from, and then it just matters on which one is kind of people's first piece of nostalgia with that.
Right.
Now I know you guys said you could quote things back and forth. Is there anything in particular that is like the main thing that you'll quote, or favorite ones that you'll quote, or?
What are you thinking?
My favorite, and I mean, I pull this out when it's appropriate. Listen, you smell something? Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty classic.
Right. I mean, that's been my go-to whenever, it's appropriate.
Yeah, fair.
I would say my favorite is, again, we use it when it's appropriate. I'll tell you what the effect is. It's pissing me off.
I think I used it at dinner tonight, didn't I?
I think you did, actually.
Which Ghostbuster character would y'all say you relate to the most? And this can be ghosts, this can be Ghostbusters, this can be people in the background.
I'm the sweater guy that walks around in the library. You seem like 4 scenes. No. Out of all the Ghostbusters, I mean, I think like the childlike wonder of Ray with me, and kind of like the snarky Peter sometimes. Well, I shouldn't say sometimes, around the house more than anything. I mean, Winston's the everyman, helps everybody when he can.
Yeah.
Egon, not so much the brains here, but I kind of relate to him. I mean,
the little piece of everyone.
Yeah. Slimer. Like I said, Bollendorff doesn't like to eat.
I'm gonna sound original, but I kind of like your answer. I feel like I'm not just one specific person. I feel like I'm like kind of pieced up by all these characters, and that's what made me type of thing. Yeah.
And then actually, kind of in line with building, but not really, but like the things. Do you guys, either of you, have any specific type of collections you have of Ghostbuster items? Is it kind of random stuff? Is it a specific line of items?
No, it's more random. I mean, if there's something cool that we see, he'll pick it up, or I'll pick it up, or it'll be like, hey, look at this. Do we have this?
What's your most prized Ghostbuster possession?
My most prized possession would probably be my Dan Aykroyd autograph that I got when I emailed Crystal Vodka and asked for an autograph.
Yeah.
The Crystal had vodka. I was just like, I don't know what year it was. And I just emailed them and said, hey, big fan of Mr. Aykroyd, this nice, kiss ass email. I'd really appreciate it if you, get an autograph. And a few months went by. I came home one brown manila envelope in the mailbox. And I'm like, what is this? Return address. I'm like, what? And I ripped it open, and it's in a Sharpie, report all ghosts, Dan Aykroyd. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
And it's the picture of Aykroyd, Murray, and Ramis, lab coats, the commercial. And I'm like, wow, And then it was made out to me. And then that was before we had him. And then we went to go see Aykroyd when he did the Yogi Bear junket. And I brought it with me. And I wanted him to just add Nick's name to it.
Oh.
And, I was explaining to the guy who was like his manager, whatever, was like passing him stuff. And Aykroyd got it. And he's like, I've already signed this. So he just like signed it again by his name. And it was like the signatures matched. And I'm like, so he actually signed this 8x10, and sent it to me. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool.
That's really cool.
That's like my prized possession.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have one. I mean,
I don't really have a prized possession per se. I feel like just our room in general is now a prized possession, because like, where do you ever see a room dedicated just Ghostbusters? It used to be a toy room where me and my sisters, just random Legos and stuff, would go, but now it's turned into like a whole nerd room. So
That's amazing. The transition.
So
Yeah.
if you
Aw.
put all that on like eBay or anything, I think we'd be rolling in cash. So
So as we still got some time left, but I want to give plenty of time to ask both of you individually the big question of the evening. Why do you bust? What the heck? Why are you putting on a suit and a heavy backpack and going into the public?
Me, I do it for the kids.
Yeah.
Like I said early on, I wanted to do something that made me feel good about giving back to the community. And even before going to the hospital, it was all about the kids. And that's why I say, I put on the flight suit, strap on the pack. I'm doing it for the kids.
I did it to have fun, to find a way to dress up in cosplay, and also for the kids as well. I think that going to Laura Beatus actually, like, it was like a whole like wow moment, and it made me realize how much of an impact this group is to everyone, not just in the Chicagoland area, but like in the Midwest and hopefully around the world too. Like, I mean, it's just crazy to think that we do this just to have fun, but also to give back to people in need. And it's the best feeling. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you guys have been there to see that impact. Right where the money is going back to.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, a wild Bob has appeared in chat. Hi, Bob. Also, Bob, wanted to let you know this is the first Windy City Ghostbuster origin story I think we've heard where Bob wasn't directly involved with the person joining. So usually in every story, and honestly, Greg, Nick, in every story, most people we've interviewed outside of our franchise, there's also a Bob. Some way, somehow, Bob has been involved. So hi, Bob. Thanks for joining chat. But yeah, the stuff we do for Laura Beta, I mean, like, and even like the plane pull, you guys were just at the one we did last.
Mhm.
Those
Bob
are
says
incredible
it's not
too.
true.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Greg and Nick met me at the all-night flea market.
Oh yeah.
And you made me join. What?
So there was a Bob. This is a surprise,
I
Bob.
remember that night.
Yeah.
And then we met Bob at the C2E2 we were at with
Ah,
with the lab coats. Yeah.
nice.
And I gave Bob a crunch bar because he deserved it.
Aww. Bob, do you still have the crunch bar? Is it sentimental?
Probably threw it out. He's probably some dork just gave me a crunch bar. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. So what are you guys looking forward to in this next half of the year of busting ghosts with Windy City?
He says he ate it immediately.
What are we looking forward to most?
Yeah, throughout the rest of the year, or maybe multiple things you're looking forward to.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got so much on the books. I don't know what event I'm looking forward to the most.
Fair.
I'm just actually looking for a break because it seems like we're doing something like every other day.
There's a lot right now. Yeah, folks, if you're out there listening, check out when we post where we'll be on social media because we're everywhere right now. Oh, Bob wants to know toy shopping again at Ollie's, Greg?
I'll be there.
There
It's
we
only a
go.
6-minute drive.
I will say, since I will be back at school, I won't be here that much for the second half of the year, but I am excited for the last few months that I'm here for winter break.
Nice, yeah. Those last like fall months, the fall months right before winter hits, and
Mm.
we've got another big surge of lots of events, it's a spooky season. We got work
Right.
to do.
Well, that's about the time I decide to get the flight suit washed.
Yeah. Greg, you want to tell folks at home about our next event this Saturday, where
Yes.
we're going to be?
Yeah, somebody in chat just mentioned it. We're going to be at the Aurora Skate Rink.
Yes.
From 1 to 4 o'clock. So come on out and join us at Aurora Skate. We're probably not going to be skating with packs on, but people will be on skates. I, for one, am uncoordinated, so I'll be manning the donation booth. So, yeah, I'll be taking care of that. Plus, you guys have seen my flight suit with all the pins, and I'm afraid if I fall, I'll turn into a human pincushion. So
It'll be fine.
I don't want that to happen. So, and then what do we got? We got after that, we've got Thursday, a week from today, we're going to be out at the Slammer Stadium in Joliet. Ghostbusters night.
What?
Yeah, their first time attempting this. So they're pretty much head over heels that we're going to be part of it.
Yeah.
So
and with that said, I should let folks listening know next week, because literally all of us will be there. We are going to move this show to Wednesday next week so that we can all attend the Slammers game that night. You will see me, but you'll see me how I looked last week inside of the Slimer suit.
Should be green.
Running around.
Yes, the only
Chaos.
Slimer there. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people there in flight suits and whatnot. And that's actually funny because I talked to my contact and I'm like, so our guys aren't going to have any problems getting in, are they? Because, I'm sure fans are going to show up in flight suits and,
Right.
we don't want them to be getting like, the look of, who are you fooling? You're not supposed to be here and we're not letting you in this early. So, yeah. Yeah, it should be a good time. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to have the 18, 20-foot Stay Puffed out there in the outfield for folks to take pictures with. Kristen's going to be dressed as Slammer. We're going to be doing a first pitch. We're going to be singing the 7th inning stretch. We're going to be playing games with the kids in between innings on the field. So if you're out there listening and you're able to make it, it should be a good time.
Oh yeah. And then Zeroson in chat said live stream. I'm sure on at least Facebook for sure. Usually someone from our socials team will probably do a quick live stream while we're there, and show everyone what's going on. So keep an eye on our socials during it, because I'm sure we'll have something live.
Live streaming from on TikTok's not out of the question.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, we don't talk about it enough, but make sure you guys check out our TikTok too, because there's some stuff over there as well that has been made, and yeah, that could be fun to live stream to TikTok.
Yeah, we can do that now.
So many possibilities. Yeah, so everyone check that out. Come to the game. Come see us. Go roller skating with these guys on Saturday. But Greg and Nick, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. This is a lot.
Got a question.
What? No, I did the question.
You forgot the other question.
Uh-oh.
What are their packs saying?
Oh, the one question I always forget. What are your your packs' names? Do they have names?
I've got a little Marshmallow Man on mine. I think I named him. What did I name him? I named him like Yusaki or something like that. It's the little Stay Puft that's got the paint under his eyes, and he's got the little from the last collection that came out.
Yeah,
little samurai looking guy. So I'm like, hey, he kind of looks like a little ninja. So I named him Yusaki. So I guess my pack's name is Yusaki.
Aw.
I'll allow it.
Do you have one?
Yeah. His name's Brick.
Brick. Appropriately named.
Yeah.
Very appropriately named. Oh, that's great. No, thank you guys. That's the one question I always forget, and I have it written in my notes too. But thank you guys for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I feel like this is the kind of thing maybe next year, Nick, when you're on break again, we can do another recap of the year and keep talking, because you guys have a lot of years in Ghostbusters. So I feel
Yeah.
like I could keep asking you questions forever. But folks at home, check out our link tree, learn more about Windy City and the projects that we are working on, the charities we support, main one being La Rabida Children's Hospital here in Chicago. There are other events we do to help support other charities as well. Greg and Nick, anything in particular, maybe social media wise or in general, that you want to plug?
Nah.
Fair. I loved the look at each other and immediate nah. No, totally fair. So yeah, audience, check out the socials, check out our events. I'm sure if you're not able to make it to Fan Expo, I'm sure you'll see a picture up somewhere of Greg and Nick's like versions of Ghostbusters, steampunk version of Ghostbusters. I'm so excited to see this. But yeah, with that said, thank you all for joining tonight, and have a good one. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, because we're out Thursday. We're in the middle of a ball field on Thursday.
Yep,
So
yep.
we'll see you
Yep.
folks next week. Bye, Greg, Nick. Thank
Bye,
you again.
everybody.